Hello everyone, welcome to reSkill. Today we'll be talking about machine learning with AWS and we will be exploring various AI and machine learning services AWS provides along the way. So let's just talk about democratizing AI first because when you look at today's market, like a lot of companies and organizations are basically trying to integrate some sort of machine learning capabilities in the platform in the applications. And it has a lot of constraints in it. It's not as easy as it seems. So if we want machine learning or AI to be available to everyone, to be usable by everyone, then we have to make some tweaks in the whole process. And that is where AWS comes in. AWS is trying to democratize AI and machine learning services using managed AI services as well as managed machine learning platform AWS provides. So that is SageMaker. So makes it easier for organizations to adapt AI or machine learning for whatever use cases they want to use it for. And yes, so if you know anything around machine learning, if you have played around a bit, you know like there are some stages to it, right? Like you do data pre-processing to select algorithm and framework, you then create a model, you train and tune the model, and basically you integrate and deploy it in production. And then you will get an endpoint to play around with. So, like suppose you are building an app to identify different cities using the photos. Okay, so you just upload a photo to an app, it will send a REST API request to your machine learning and like machine learning model endpoint, and then the processing will happen, and you will get a response back with the city, and then you will display it to user. So like and behind the scenes, when the call comes in, the machine learning your data will be sent to model, and it will process it, it will give you output, and that is what as your user will be seeing, right? So to create that model first, you have to do pre-processing, algorithm selection, framework selection, training and tuning, and it's a hassle. So basically, there are a few problems with the whole process. First is infrastructure. Managing infrastructure can be very challenging when it comes to this complex training and tuning process. So and especially when it comes to scaling and distributing, it's hard to manage as well. Then there's a inefficiency in the whole process. The second thing is skill talent. So you don't get the skill talent in the market very easily. So finding a machine learning expertise is scarce. And then even if you find someone, then you have to consider the small organization. They can't really afford to pay a huge amount of machine learning expert, right? Like they can't do that. And then like you have to leverage the potential. You have to speed up the innovation and all that stuff because there's a research involved in the whole process. Then the third thing is ease of setup, because like setting up the things and maintaining the stack is hard. Like you have to then continuously train your model as per the changes or as per the new data comes in, and that is not that easier. And for basic training, you have to get some sample data, and collecting that data, like creating the data set, is again one of the tasks, right? So there are a lot of small problems around the whole process, which becomes bigger when you look at the bigger picture, right? And how machine learning in the cloud can help you with the whole thing. Like clouds use paper use model, right? Like you don't have to pay upfront for whatever you are using. Like it uh whatever your billing is, it comes according to however and whatever you use your resources. So that's very beneficial for small organizations who want to try or who want to experiment with the whole process, and then they want to use machine learning or use AI as a commodity for some particular niche application they have. And then ease for enterprises to experiment, scale, and go in production. As I said, there's a lot of experimentation involved in the whole process. You don't like you just don't come up with the sample data and you create a best model in the first experiment. You have to do a lot of experimentation, tuning and testing, and then of course scaling as per your user base, and then going into production. So this uh, whole process is easier when it comes to machine learning in cloud. The intelligent capabilities are accessible without even requiring advanced skills in AI. Like you don't need to be an expert in AI or machine learning to use any of these AI services or even SageMaker for that, right? You don't, and that's it. Like you don't require a deep knowledge for AI or machine learning theory or even. a team of data scientists to figure out the whole thing. So how AWS machine learning paradigm looks. So there are three basic things when you want to get started. There are AI services, which are, I guess, here. Then there are machine learning services, which are here. And then there are machine learning frameworks and infrastructure. So AI services, let's just start with the very basic thing, right? AI services are basically API endpoints. And these are the APIs which can do image recognition, which can do voice recognition, text to speech, te text identification of documents, like that is text track. So there are various services which can do various basic machine learning tasks, or even prediction and regression kind of task. And uh, this this basically satisfies general purpose use cases. So if you have an app which with just like let's just take the previous example itself. If you have an app which just identifies cities from photos, and you don't like if you want to create a data set for it, if you want to create a model for it and then deploy, it's a whole big process, right? But if you get some service which is like a pay per use, and then you just use that API endpoint in your application. Whenever a new photo comes in, you just send a request to that API and you get a response back. It's a lot easier, right? You just uh, scrape the complete process of creating a model and then deploying it and maintaining it. You are getting a service which is maintained by AWS, and you are just using it for your use cases. So this very specific use cases, so general use cases, are already solved by AWS using AI services. So you get AI services like personalized forecast. There are very few mentioned over here, but we will look into a whole lot of them when we go even further. So this is like for anyone who has very general purpose use case and just want to integrate AI in their platform or their application, and this solves that use case. Then there's a machine learning services paradigm. So machine learning services is basically where SageMaker comes in. So SageMaker is like a managed machine learning platform provided by AWS. And I'm saying platform here specifically because due to recent additions to SageMaker, it has way more capabilities than you can imagine. And we will look into those as well. So SageMaker provides a complete build and deploy pipeline management using on its own. So you can build a model using SageMaker, you can train a model using SageMaker, you can deploy a model using SageMaker, and basically serve it as a API endpoint, like say same way. So as you use AI services, that's how you will use the SageMaker model as well. So it provides you the whole process, but it is bit tweakable. It's bit like you can actually maintain scale your model on your own as per your requirements. So there's a bit of the personalization available over there. It's and this basically fits in for a use case where you have your own data, you have to train a model, but you want to train a model, but you don't want to get into hassle of managing the infrastructure or creating the infrastructure, or selecting an algorithm and all that stuff. So you can just give your data, you can create a model. Even SageMaker has ground truth, so which provides you the labeling workflow. So there are a lot of tasks which are managed by the service itself. So SageMaker provides you easier way to get to the market when you have your when you want to use your own data, or you have a use case which is very specific to your product and which won't be solved by general purpose AI services. And then there's third one. Third one is like machine learning frameworks and infrastructure. So if you are a researcher, or if you are a person who want to control your complete machine learning workflows, then machine learning infrastructure and framework thing comes in. So you here everything is the building blocks are there. You have to manage your own infrastructure. You can choose what instance you want to deploy on. You can choose what instance you want for training. You can choose what framework you want like TensorFlow, MXNet, PyTorch, whatever you want. You can choose the interfaces as per your requirement, and you can manage this whole thing with AWS infrastructure. So this is again for people who know what they are doing. They know what they want from the whole thing, and they enjoy managing their own infrastructure. They enjoy managing their own like nobody does, but actually like whoever wants to manage their whole thing or control the whole thing, it's for those kind of people. So today we'll be looking at AI services and machine learning services. These two parts we'll be focusing on. And let's just jump to a console directly instead of just chatting around the whole stuff. Okay. So let me just cool. So this is where you can see there are various kind of categories under which AWS provides machine learning various kind of machine learning services actually. So there are ML services which as I said SageMaker, which provides to build, train, and deploy machine learning models. Then there are AI services, which is like easily adding intelligence to your applications. As I said, AI services are kind of just APIs, and you use them as per your requirement, but they are very general purpose. Then there are industry-specific solutions for healthcare industrial customers. Then there's ML infrastructure, the third category we considered, where you manage your own infrastructure, and AWS actually provides you instances which are optimized for machine learning tasks. So you can build with them as well. Then there are deep learning frameworks which you can choose as per your requirements, and then this one is interesting. So this one is like where you can you click on getting started, you learn around various stuff, and then you can start implementing it. So let's just first go and see AWS AI services maybe. Yes, here we are. So under AI services, AWS provides different kind of services. So there's intelligent search with Amazon Kendra, which helps customer to find the data quickly using natural language search. Then there's and you can build Kendra on top of any data you have. Suppose you want to build a search for your logs, then you can just dump your Elasticsearch logs here and build a Kendra based search on top of it. It is that easier. Then there are personalized recommendation service called Amazon Personalized. There's contact center intelligence. Then there's a text analytics service called Comprehend, which when you give a text to the Comprehend, it basically uses NLP to figure out various aspects of it, right? And there's document analysis, Amazon Text Track, which will for which we will see demo as well. Then there's real-time translation service called Amazon Translate. And there's Amazon Forecast, Fraud Detector, and the, Amazon Recognition, Amazon Lookout for Vision, Poly, Transcribe. There are a bunch of different services around, which cover almost every generic use case you have. So if you are into a very general purpose industry, and if you want if you want to solve a very general purpose problem, this is where you look out for. So suppose I just want to like I have a company where we do suppose document processing, and I just don't want to renovate the whole thing. I want a basic like I want to extract text from my document and use it somewhere, or I just want to uh, build a platform where I will extract text from a form and I will use it somewhere, right? Maybe I'm a bank where I'm just getting a form filled by my customer, and then I want to fill out those online forms automatically by scanning these forms. So these are like there are a lot of use cases around it. And how Amazon Text Stack basically works is whenever you give some document, it will extract text, it will extract field and values, like key value pairs, if it's form, then it will extract table and cells, and then you can basically use that data. You can provide the data to various applications. Suppose I just want to store that in S3 bucket. I can do that. I want to provide it to Amazon Augmented AI and create a client application around it. I can do that. If I get key value pairs, I just want to store that in Elasticsearch. I can do that. So there are various possibilities where once you get data, and you can do whatever you want with your data. But like extracting data is the main thing here. So let's just see the application around. Let's just see the demo of it. So here's the employment application, which has the handwritten data in it, right? You can see it's a scanned document basically, and like this information is not that easier to figure out when it comes to any general text extraction AI. And if you want to write this on your own, it will take a whole lot amount of data, and then whole lot amount of time to figure out the model for this, right? So Amazon provides tech stack here for you, and you can just see like this document is already scanned over here, And in raw text, you can see it has identified employment application. It has identified this thing, and even here, when the data is handwritten, it has identified it correctly. So it says 123 any street, any town, USA, and it is very precise, right? Even here, you can see like it's not that easier to figure out, but still it has identified example corp very precisely. So yes, and if you want to this you can see these are basically forms, right? These are key value pairs. So it has identified that as well. The home address is this, full name, mailing address, and phone number. It identified all the form fields as well. Then this is a table. It has identified table and then correctly identified table with even all the columns and rows there. So that's there. You can even add augmented AI, as I said, the human reviewer thing, and you can download all your results in a CSV format and use it. So there are a lot of possibilities here, and it makes things very easier for a lot of use cases. Let's just look at the second service, Amazon Recognition. Amazon Recognition provides you the way to like do image recognition or video recognition, right? So here in this image, you can see it has identified various objects in the image. It has a car, automobile, vehicle. These are basically labels for the whole image, right? And it has confidence as well. So here you can see the request you send is you just send image with a like you can mention a store image in S3 bucket, and you can send it in a request, and then you will get a response like this. It has great give you bounding box and confidence. It has give you like all the labels and confidence in those particular labels, like object labels and all that is there. So if I just go and do object and scene detection, I can do that as well. It has identified this is a city, town, this is urban area, and then same thing like you send a request and you get a response in JSON format. So let's just go a little bit deep. Like if you want to do image moderation, that is also possible with it, and this comes very handy when you are like uh, when you want to do like moderation for videos or want to do moderation for images on your website, and you really don't want to build the whole thing on your own, and this is very handy in that case. It can do facial recognition. So here you can see it has identified a face. It has appears to be a female, and then it age range as well, the emotion detection, and if wearing glasses or not, wearing sunglasses or not, eyes are open, mouth is open, does have a beard or not. All these features are there. And if I go this image, I can see the results. It has faces. It has identified three different faces, and for each of the face, I can see characteristics. So this girl appears to be in 5 to 15 years of age range, and it's smiling. So all those things are there. Then even celebrity recognition. So if you are building some platform which just identifies celebrities, or like you have some quizzes around it, any app you want to build around celebrities, you can do that as well. It identifies uh, popular celebrities. So that's face comparison. Here you can see this girl and this girl is same. So it actually identifies. It actually can match the face and give you the similarity index as well. Then you can also identify text in the image. This is what you can do with extract as well. But like you can do with recognition that if you want to identify text from an image, you can do that. Then okay, for like we are living in an era where you have to wear mask everywhere, you have to wear gloves everywhere, you have to drink sanitizers, not literally drink sanitizers, but you have to carry sanitizers all around you, everywhere we go, right? So in the COVID era, the if like identifying if someone is wearing mask or identifying if someone is wearing gloves uh, is very important. Like even for public, uh, even for governments, even for organizations, and there are a lot of nowadays when schools are reopened, it comes to schools as well. So you want to identify if all of your students are wearing masks. Then so this API comes in handy for. that kind of detection. It has PP. It's called PP detection. So you can see, like, you can check over here. It has face cover, hand cover, and then head cover kind of check mark. So you can basically click on those. And suppose I just want face cover to be there, and I will set my minimum confidence level, and I can accordingly check the result, right? So here I just marked for face cover, and I can see in results that person ID 3 is wearing a face cover, 1 is wearing face cover, 2 is wearing face cover, and all of the people in the image are wearing face cover. So this basically gives you face cover on nose is 2, face cover on face cover detected is 2, and confidence level around it, which is pretty handy when you look at problems we are facing today in the global pandemic we're living in. And there's also video analysis too. So if I have some video and I want to identify faces, like I want to identify people from it, if they are celebrities or not, then object and activities in the video, and I just want to download response out of it. So it can do that as well. So, as you can see, this is pretty cool, right? Like you get APIs for your general purpose applications. You can just use those in your and solve your use cases very easily. You don't have to reinnovate the well to get this done. Like done if you're looking to integrate machine learning in any of your platform now, like it's a lot easier than it was before the whole cloud-based machine learning thing started. So now let's just look at the second thing we wanted to look at, like machine learning services. So Amazon SageMaker. So Amazon SageMaker, as I said, it has become a platform itself. It has a lot of services in it. It provides a lot of capabilities in the hands of user. There's Amazon SageMaker Studio, which is IDE for machine learning. Then there's Amazon SageMaker, and then basically SageMaker Studio provides you everything you need for your machine learning uh, workflows. Then there's Amazon SageMaker Autopilot, which creates machine learning models automatically. Then there's Amazon SageMaker Ground Truth, which automates your labeling workflows. Then there's SageMaker Jumpstart. There's SageMaker Wrangler. There's SageMaker Feature Store, SageMaker Clarify, SageMaker Debugger, SageMaker Model Monitor, the distributed training, Amazon SageMaker Pipelines, and Age Manager. So see, as you can see, like including the new services, it ticks all the boxes required for a general machine learning workflow model generation, right? So if I just go to SageMaker dashboard and like I show you the general what are the different capabilities are there. So this is a SageMaker dashboard. You can if you want to do a labeling, you can just create a labeling job and you can do that. There's like SageMaker Jupyter notebooks available. You can create a notebook instance and host your notebooks or there. There you can create training jobs. You can create models and endpoints. You can do batch transformation jobs, and you can check your processing like you can test your pre and post processing or model evaluation as well. So yes, uh, yes. So here this is your search. So here you can see like there's the labeling job, labeling data sets. Yes. Then you can see your notebook instances over here. So if I want to create a notebook itself, this is the one demo one I created. But if you want to create your own notebook instance, you can just click on create notebook instance and create a notebook instance according to your requirement. You can even attach Git repository to it. Then the lifecycle configurations, the Git repositories you have attached. For training, you can see the different algorithms available. Like you can create your own algorithm. Then you can have training jobs, hyperparameter tuning jobs. You can do all that stuff. So even in inferencing, you can package your model. You can serve your model using endpoint configurations and endpoints. You can do batch transformation job for evaluation, and all that stuff is available here. And Edge Manager basically helps you to deploy machine learning on edge like IoT devices, right? So uh, the various like you can you can use that as well. Then there's augmented AI, which basically helps you add human review workflows in the whole process. So that's also very helpful. Uh, and the very nicest thing about the whole process is AWS Marketplace. So if you have a use case and then maybe that use case is solved by like some company exists which has a similar use case and they have already solved it for you. Like they have created a machine learning model or they have created a workflow which can help you to which you can use directly for solving your use case as well. So you can go to AWS Marketplace and you can see various model packages available here. You can see various algorithms in the marketplace. Then even the data exchange contains various data sets. And so you can so I just suppose I want to use auto encoder for detection. I can just click on auto encoder for detection, which is by fraud ML, and I can use it. I can see just see the pricing. I can choose my instance and I can deploy it and use it, right? Like I can use it as a subscription. So this makes things very easy and handy. Like if you are just getting started, if you don't have a lot of resources to invest in the whole process, this makes really sense to go ahead and try out AI services as it provides you pay as you go model. It you can keep your budgets down and not spend a lot of money on hiring resources for machine learning or hiring resources for integrating AI in an application, right? And even if you want a little bit of flexibility and want to use SageMaker, this AWS Marketplace provides you a lot of ready to use solutions. And as you can see here, you can automate your labeling. You can use a SageMaker like Jupyter Notebook instances, and this is a lot of things make the whole process way easier than it was before the cloud machine learning and cloud evolution, right? Like this is a lot easier than just sitting in your office and like maintaining the whole thing in with in-house infrastructure. So yes, so most like this was all about AWS AI and machine learning services I had. And yes, okay. So just highlighting one last point here, there are industrial AI solutions as we discussed earlier, right? So this provides you like detect abnormal machine behavior and predictive maintenance. AI service. There's like sensor data, a service to analyze sensor data, then turn existing on-site cameras into S services. So there are a lot of interesting services which are specific to industrial and healthcare purposes. So in healthcare, you get medical text analysis, you get make sense of the health data, automatically convert medical speech to text, and all these APIs. And yes, like we should end the whole thing on some interesting notes. Like we have AWS Deep Racer, AWS Deep Lens, and AWS Deep Composer, which are which are like which are very interesting if you want to play around with that. Like if you want to learn reinforcement learning or play around with Deep Racer, you can try out this as well. Then there's Deep Lens, and there's Deep Composer. So and yes, like so yes, this is mostly all around AWS AI and machine learning services from my side. So hope this was helpful and hope the like you can get started easily with integrating machine learning in your organization with AWS AI and machine learning services. And as I said, if you want to learn more about the whole thing, you can just get started with the resources available on the on AWS console itself. Cool. So thanks a lot for listening to me, and thanks a lot AWS for creating the whole reskill program. Thank you.